Happy New Year and welcome back. Hope you had a nice holiday season, and we're going to cover the Reno Tahoe real estate market for January 2025 and a look back at 2024 in just a moment. Okay, let's jump right in. Before we jump into the month-by-month comparisons, typically in January, I do like to go through and take a look at the year-over-year comparisons just to give a little broader perspective. And so we're going to look at that from a couple different vantage points in this video. First off, comparing 2024, the entire 12 months, to 2023, you can see how we look here for both median price, homes sold, and the percent of sold price to list price. So you can see prices, with the exception of Carson Valley, are up in single digits on a year-over-year basis from 2024 to 2023. And homes sold is also modestly up, with the exception of Carson City, which had a big jump. But most markets are slightly up to slightly down, 13% down in Carson Valley. So even though 2023 was a very small, a low point for homes sold, we did see a modest increase. It's not tremendous, but just a modest increase across the board. And this number over here has remained fairly stable. It's gone up just a little bit, down just a little bit. In general, it's pretty stable. I wanted to share with you a little broader perspective on the market phenomenon that we have right now, and hopefully make some better sense of it for those of you who are watching. So this chart here shows just Reno, Nevada. I decided just to pick the market with the largest volume in our region. So I just did Reno, and it shows going back from 2002 up through 2024. So we've got 22 years of price history here. And what you can see with the blue bars is the median price coming up through prior to the Great Recession, then coming down through the Great Recession, and then back up. Of course, we had a big jump from the COVID years up and through here, and then it's kind of leveled off with a modest increase coming up in 2024. The red line shows the number of homes sold in Reno for the same year, trending up. So you can see at the peak of the market, we had a very high volume of homes being sold. That was in 2005. As the home volume of sales declined, prices lagged that, and you can see it bottomed out over here in 2011, roughly, even though the volume had started to climb. And so you follow this red line here, and if this market correction that we're in right now, I'll call it a correction, was the same as the Great Recession, as the sales volume fell down, so would pricing. So what you see here is the sales volume started to come down for a very different reason. This is driven by interest rates rising rapidly, and the prices have held. They had a minor drop from 2022 to 2023, but they've since recovered, and we've gone up slightly as well. So this is all a function of available inventory. So even though volume is down, because there's fewer homes on the market, prices have held steady and actually seen a modest increase. Very different from the last Great Recession period that we had. So our number of homes is in somewhat of a recession. It's definitely way down with a big dip down. It looks almost like this back here, but our pricing has held steady. And part of the reason for this, I'll just share with you with a slightly different view, is the inventory. So this is the average inventory, not by every year during this whole time period, but I just want to go back and show you the bottom markets. So 2007 was the bottom of the sales volume in through here. And the number of homes for sale at that time was 2,560. That's the average for all of 2007. If we fast forward to 2023, which is the bottom, I believe, because we had a slight pickup in 2024, the bottom of the sales volume coming down, the number of homes available on the market for sale on average in Reno was 492. So you got roughly 500 here, roughly 2,500 here. There were 5 times as many homes for sale on the market at this point in 2007 than there is currently, or there was in 2023. We are not a whole lot more than this right now. It's gone up a little bit, but not that much more. So this is what's behind these prices holding up, even in the face of the volume going down. People are not putting their homes in the market. They can't afford to take out a mortgage at the new home for the same value that they were getting at their low 2.5%, 3% loan interest rate that they were realizing in 2019, 2020, 2021, first half of 2022. And so we have a pretty significant slowdown in sales volume, but prices hold steady, all driven by inventory. So I hope this just gives some more insight into what's happened with this market cycle. Of course, we're looking backwards now a couple of years, so it's really easy to tell a story. While we were going through this, it was a little bit more foggy, let's just say the least. That is what you have in the markets. We'll take a quick look now at some of the month-by-month numbers. You can see December 2024 over December 2023. Prices are generally up and down, but largely flat. If we look at the last 2-year trend, you can see that they have shown increases. We're going back to December 2022 here. But keep in mind, if we go back to the midpoint of 2022, we're actually about flat. By way of reference, the Reno median price in June of 2022 was $635. Here we are in December, $642. You can see we popped up a little bit to $655 and a little bit to $669. We're kind of holding steady right around just a little bit below that $650 range for that particular market. And the other markets kind of follow suit. You can see modest appreciation, but we had some modest depreciation in the second half of 2022. I just touched on median price. If we look at sales volume for December, you can see up in some markets, down in some others, but generally we're seeing more homes being sold. I think last year we were up by 6% from over 2023. So a very slight increase in the number of homes sold, largely constrained by inventory and affordability of homes. Month supply of inventory, you can see kind of a mixed bag, inching up a little bit. The market with the highest is Tahoe, but this number does not mean that much in Tahoe. It's a very, very different market, so the metrics are not directly comparable as they are in these primary home markets up here. But Carson Valley at 3.4 months of inventory is showing a little more of a trend towards a balanced market with prices flattening out and leveling out. The other markets still remain pretty low, even though they're up from January 2024. Inventory, you can see, has risen, but not by very much. Not enough to make a significant difference in our market dynamic. If we take a look at it visually going back 2 years, you can see the trend for each of the individual markets that we're tracking here. Reno being the one that's on its own because it's got the largest volume. You can see we had 503 last month, or this month, pardon me, January 2025. A year ago, we had 399. So we're up about 20% from 400 to 500, but 25%. But if you go back and you look at where we were 2 years ago, you can see we were at 550, now we're at 503. So we're actually still very constrained on inventory. And it looks like that's going to be around this inventory constraint, and the higher interest rates are likely going to be around for at least the next 2 to 3 business quarters. It's looking like the Fed will be lowering rates at a much slower target than they were planning based on some recent inflation data. So these markets are probably around for a while. Month supply of inventory, you can see visually here what's happened over the last couple of months, a couple of years, pardon me. There is some seasonality in these numbers, but you can see Carson Valley kind of breaking out. That's Minden, Gardnerville, Genoa, breaking out a little bit from the pack, moving more towards a little bit more of a balanced market. That covers it for this month. I hope you had a nice holiday season. The Greater Reno Tahoe Real Estate Report is about 35 pages or so. You can see some of the charts here on your screen. That is accessible to you from the link below this video. So if you want to get more details, more historical data, if you want to see more details for any specific market in our region, you can take a look at that report, and it's all there for you to review and assimilate. I want to thank you for watching. We'll be back on next month with another market update. If there's anything we can do to help you out, please feel free to either reply to the email that you received or post us a note down below in the comments here on YouTube, and we'd be happy to help you out directly from our Reno office or our Minden office with any one of our agents who you may be working with now, or you may need help from. I'd be happy to work with you. Thanks again. We'll see you next month.